Now, Lindsey Graham wants you to know that he is worried about Donald Trump, and he wants to do something about him, but only after he gets his tax cuts. Now, this comes after Arizona Senator Jeff Flake had delivered a speech under the Senate floor against Donald Trump. He said, "We must never meekly accept the daily sundering of our country, the personal attacks, the threats against principles, freedoms, and institutions, the flagrant disregard for truth or decency, the reckless provocations, etc., etc." Like I said, it was a good speech. And then, of course, afterwards, Bob Corker also made a speech, and he said, among other things, we're on the path of World War II or World War III, sorry, and that, look, I wouldn't get Trump elected again. I wouldn't support him again. He's actually a danger to the country, all that stuff. So it's great speeches, great, people to see people speaking out. And to be honest, look, a lot of Republicans agree with Corker and Flake. Trump is unhinged. But to be fair, those two only spoke up because they were not running for re-election. And to be honest, they would get crushed by Steve Bannon's primary challenges. Because it turns out the Republican voting base loves Trump. A new poll out has Republicans having an 83% approval rating of Donald Trump. They're behind him. The GOP is now the Trump party. So even though a lot of these politicians in office don't agree with, well, they do agree with him on policy, and they do agree with him on, the racism and stuff, but they don't agree with how he's actually doing this, the way that he's conducting himself, because it makes the rest of them look bad. So that's why you have Corker and Flake. They're not as monstrous as Donald Trump, but they're still pretty monstrous, okay? And they knew they were going to lose, so they go out and they speak out against Trump. Now, there's another reason that other Republicans will not speak out against Trump, and it's because they want their tax cuts. And of course, this is an issue of follow the money. And here is Lindsey Graham actually going out and admitting it. He says that he says that I like him a lot. When asked about Flake's speech, I think it's a loss to the Senate. I share some of his concerns about what the president said about the way he behaves. So that's Graham. Okay. So you agree that he's a danger to the Republic. I mean, Flake spelled it out. He was correct in his speech. This is not normal. This should not be normal. So what are you going to do about it? Nothing. Graham is going to take the coward's way out. He says, the election is over. I'm focused on results, and that's why I'm here. I'd rather not be a constant critic. I'll stand up when I need to, but I'm trying to get taxes cut. Yeah, I mean, I'll stand up, but not until we get a tax cut. No. If you're going to stand up when you're needed, then you would stand up already, because you're needed now. And Donald Trump has flouted the rule of law more than once. Constitutional crises, already done, right? And any day, some of his tweets or his erratic behavior could land us into a conflict. Now's the time to stand up. But no. We just need to hold on because there are tax cuts on the line. Our donors are going to save millions of dollars. That's actually who we work for. We don't work for the country. No. I mean, sure, we care about America. We don't want it to fall apart. But at the same time, tax cuts. How craven are these Republican politicians? Now, imagine if the Democratic president did half the shit that Trump has done. Say we elected Hillary and she turned out to be, we're at war with, we're going to war with Russia and we're doing all these terrible things, more fracking, giant tax cuts for the rich as well, for the bankers. Well, okay. Do you think that if she was out of control Hillary, I would hope that the Democrats would actually be like, okay, you're out of control. Like, we got to rein you in. We got to rein this person in. I know I'd be the first person to go, we got to get rid of her. We got to do something. Now, again, I don't have a lot of faith in Democrats, but you see, but I can't quite see them stooping this low if Hillary was exactly the kind of train wreck that Donald Trump is. I'm just saying. Now that Graham has a chance to get tax cuts, and again, Donald Trump's a danger, right? But now that he's got a chance to get those tax cuts for the rich donors, and as well as get rid of the ACA, which is also a giant tax cut for the rich donors. Now he suddenly wants to be really super soft, playing patty cakes with Trump. He just says, and look how he describes the president, right? He says that, quote, he's a deal maker and he's extremely flexible. Just keep talking to him. Keep him close. Oh, so that's why you went golfing with him. Oh, that makes sense. So basically, now that we're going to get what we want from him, policy-wise, we don't care about telling the truth. We don't care about actually stopping him. They all think he's dangerous, but in the end, their greed is endless. And ironically, that seems to trump everything else. Now, if you've been wondering why more Republicans are not speaking out, well, this is one of the reasons why. And the other reason is on most of the stuff that he does, they actually agree with him. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.